5-4. This is the next, this one. All right, today we're going to be finding slope on a graph. All right, and so we need to know some certain vocabulary, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Today we're going to be able to determine the slope of a line on a graph. So remember, slope tells us two very important things. Okay, we're going to not do that. Okay, so it tells us the direction, which way is it going, and it tells us how fast it's going. So in our building background today, we're going to be explaining if I needed to describe to a friend how to make this exact line, what could we say? Okay, so most people, if they said that, they would say it's going up to the right, maybe. Okay, but if somebody said it was going up to the right, they might draw it like this. And that doesn't look exactly the same. So how can we make it more exact? Well, if I look at these points are where in the background you can see where the two lines intersect. How could I describe this person to go from each of these points? So I would start by saying that you start 2 up. So start 2 up. Okay, so now to get to the next point, how can I tell them using this chart how to get to this next one? So if I think about going up and over to get to that next one, how many up did we go? We went up 1, and then we go to the right 2. So go up 1, right 1, 2, make a point. Okay, and then how about the next one? Again, it goes up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. Okay, and then that person would hopefully be able to draw their nice line through those points. Okay, so that's how we describe slope. It's describing us between those points. How do we get from point to point to point? And instead of using the word up, we use the word rise. So this would be a rise of 1. And then we use the word run. And a run would be of 2. So it's rise 1, run 2. Rise 1, run 2. So that's what slope tells us. It tells us the direction. It's going up, it's positive. So these are positive numbers. And it is going up 1, right 2. Okay, so here we go with the first problem. Okay, whoops. All right, we're going to find the slope of this line. The first thing we need to remember is why is this happening? All right, the first thing we need to remember is we're going to read the graph from left to right. So left to right, in case you forgot. Okay, so we're going to follow the graph lines. We're going to find the rise and the run. Rise is the up or the down, and run is the right or left. Okay, so as I go from point to point here, I'm going to start on this bottom point, and I'm going to go rise. So I just go straight up, and then I go straight over. I'm following those background lines to help me do this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see that. So see these gray lines? I'm just going to follow those gray lines. I'm going to rise up, over, up, over. So on this line here, it goes up and it jumps up 1, 2. So I rise is 2. And then it runs over 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it goes up 2, up 1, 2, and it goes over 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when you do our steps here, it goes up 2, and the run, it goes over 3. Okay, so we're going to write it as a fraction, and when we write it as a fraction, the fraction is really the ratio. We do rise over run. So as a fraction, my rise is 2, it rises 2, and it runs 3. Okay, and the question is what's the direction of this slope? So what we did last time, is this a negative or a positive slope? Well, this is going up. So this is a positive slope. So this should be my answer. My last question is, can I simplify, which means can I divide the top and bottom by the same number. And I can't divide 2 and 3 by the same number. So that's it, 2/3. All right, example 2. We're going to read this graph from left to right. Okay, so again, I'm starting on the left side. I'm going to the right side. So I always do the rise first is what I do. So I'm going to go down and then over. But you could also go up and over, either way, but I always go left to right. So I always like to start my left point. Okay, so the rise, this time it's going down. It'd be going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it goes down 9. Okay, the run is it's going over 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going over 4. So we're going to write it as a fraction, as a ratio of rise over run. Okay, so my rise, how much did it go up and down? Up and down was 9. And then the run, left to right, was 4. So my next question is, what's the direction? It's going down. So remember, that's when the slope dude said, nice, negative, nice, negative. If you're going to ski down that or tube down it, it'd be real fun. So it's negative. So I need to make this a negative. So I just put in a negative sign. Okay, can I simplify it? Can I divide both top and bottom by a number? Well, the only number I can divide 9 by is by 3, 9, and I can't divide that by 4. So this is my final answer, -9/4. So that negative is really important. Now, if it's an improper fraction, we leave that this time. You don't change it. Okay? All right, next page. All right. So again, we're going to be reading this graph from left to right. And we need to find the rise and the run. First thing we have to do is we need to make sure we know where the points are. So the points are where these gray lines intersect in the background. Okay? So if I look at this one, I'm going to zoom in so we can make sure that we're on the same page here. Okay? I know that it goes at this 5 for sure. Then as I follow it, this wouldn't be a point because there's no vertical in the background. So right here would be a point because there's both a vertical and a horizontal. What's really nice is I kind of have this plus sign to use. So if it looks like there's a plus in the background, oh, so right here there's a plus, it goes right there. So it crosses right in the middle. So we want it where all 3 lines are crossing. We have one going horizontal, vertical, and then our red line. Not this one. This one would work. Not that one. This one would work. Okay. Now we're going to do our rise and our run. And I'm going to rise up, run over. Rise up, run over. Okay. So he rises up 2, goes up 1, 2, and then we run over 1. Goes up 1, 2, over 1, 1, 2, over 1. Okay. So for our rise, excuse me, our rise was it went up 2 and then goes over 1. So again, we're writing as a fraction, rise over run. So the rise was 2 and then the run is 1. Okay. What's the direction? Well, if I look at this line, it's going uphill. So this line is going to be positive, meaning I don't have to change anything. And then can I simplify? If I have anything over 1, I just get that top number. So instead of saying 2 over 1, I'm just going to write that as 2. It's positive. Okay, number 4. First thing we have to do is decide where are the points. Okay, so as I follow this line, I see a point right here. And this one almost looks like a point, but doesn't quite go through. Okay, what about right here? Okay, let's find the rise and run between those. We just go straight up, straight over. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so as I do this, okay, the rise, it went up 6, and then went over 10. So we're going to write it as a ratio, rise over run. Okay, so the rise, it went up 6, and then it went over 10. Okay, what's the direction? So if I think about that slope dude, this one's going uphill. He'd be out of breath, so you'd say positive. Okay, so that's positive. Now, can I simplify it? Is there a number I can divide both the top and bottom by? The answer is yes. We could divide by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Can I simplify again? No. So that's going to be my final answer. Now what that means is on this graph, instead of going up 6 over 10, I could have, and I'm going to use my highlighter to show this, I could have just gone up just 3, up 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was another point. Up 3 over 5. But we get the same answer no matter what. So as long as you just find 2 points on the graph, we should be good to go. Okay? All right, these ones. And find the slopes of these lines. I don't know why I wrote the same here. But this one, the rise, it goes up a bunch, but it doesn't run ever. Okay, so if I count how many it rises, it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But it doesn't ever go over. So my rise as a fraction, I have rise over run. My rise would be 12, and my run would be 0. Okay. Now, if I ask Siri what 12 divided by 0 is, what's 12 divided by 0?
You know, that's not nice. Are you trying to scramble my computational cortex?
Okay, Siri said, you know, that's not nice. Are you trying to scramble my computational cortex? Because it's undefined. We can't divide by 0. So that's why on these ones, we're really thinking about that direction. This one goes straight up and down. And yesterday we talked, or not yesterday, the last one we talked about how that is undefined. So that should be our final answer. Okay, on this one, there is no rise. It just goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this again is 12, but this time it's the run. So the rise is 0, and the run is 12. Let's ask Siri what that is. Siri, what's 0 divided by 12?
The answer is 0.
Oh, the answer is 0. This one we can actually do. Our answer is 0. Remember, that's what Slope 2 said as he went across. This is 0 fun. This is 0 fun. All right, so slope is a ratio that tells us the rise over the run. So it's a ratio like that. And it tells us the direction, so which way is it headed, and the steepness. So how far up and over do we have to be moving? Okay, remember rise is the up or down, and the run is the left or right. Okay, so rise goes up and down, run is left and right. All right, that is it.